Christian Okoye pumped up for the game. And he got the ball here on this first quarter drive. He had 2 first-half touchdowns. This one from 2 yards out makes it 7-0 Chiefs. On the first play following a Kansas City interception, Dave Craig will waste no time hitting Tim Barnett. He's their big deep threat, gets wide open in the zone, and he's gone for the 44-yard TD, and it's 14-0. Joe Gibbs realizes the route is on. It was 28-0 at the half, and then in the fourth quarter, when the Skins mounted a comeback to make it 28-16, well, it was Barnett again from Craig. This one covers 35 yards. Kansas City back on the beam with a 35-16 victory. Green Bay wins at home over Philadelphia, 27-24. Green Bay now 4-6, and Philly at one time 4-0 and looking close to invincible, now 6-4. Highlights from that game: Randall Cunningham back starting. There's Jim McMahon along the sideline. He led them to victory last week against the Raiders. This time it's Cunningham. He was ineffective in the first half, as you see, missing Keith Byers here. Vince Workman was getting the job done for the Packers. Breaks this one for 44 yards down to the Philly 13. It set up a Brett Favre to Sterling Sharp 5-yard touchdown pass, made it 7-3. Favre was 11 for 11 in the first half passing. Early fourth quarter, Favre will hit Darrell Thompson with a 3-yard pass, extends the Packer lead to 21-10. But Philly fought back as Cunningham will throw this screen pass off to Heath Sherman, and Sherman will take it 75 yards with good blocking and good running combined. That cut Green Bay's lead to 21-17. They're not going to catch him. He uses the old straight arm, seldom seen, always appreciated. 75-yard touchdown. Now here's Herschel Walker taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Eagles take the lead here at 24-21. They could not drag him down. Look at this. He just fights off the tacklers, and he goes looking like the Herschel of old. The game was tied at 24. Under a minute to play, and Walker fumbles the ball, and Johnny Holland of the Packers is able to recover. 3 seconds remaining. Chris Jackie will come in and nail the 41-yard field goal that gives the Packers the 27-24 win. And let's turn right here as Mike Holmgren celebrates. To OJ and Will, it becomes pretty clear. It gave the Steelers a run for their money. Pittsburgh goes to 7-3. Barry Foster, 23 carries for 102 yards, over 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Barry Sanders, 20 carries for 93 in defeat for the Lions. San Diego beat Cleveland in the game some of you folks saw. Stan Humphries, the 45-yarder to Anthony Miller. Second TD pass of the day for Humphries in the snow. The Chargers win it 14-13. The Jets over Cincinnati built a 17-0 lead. Bengals got 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns, fell short. Jets 3-7. Bengals fall to 4-6, 17-14 New York. Atlanta is able to hold off Phoenix. It's a 20-17 win on a Norm Johnson field goal of 35 yards with 50 seconds remaining. So now Atlanta is 4-6 and Phoenix is 3-7. And New England and Indianapolis are in overtime, tied at 34. And I believe New England is doing something. I'm just glancing over to the monitor, and what they're doing may be winning the game. Is that right?
That's right. They're on the 1-yard line. So they can run it in, or they can kick the field goal and put it away now.
There's Scott Zolak, their new quarterback, with both Hugh Millen and Tom Hodson hurt. And the guy in the sweater you saw in the stands is his father, who not only was his high school coach, but was Joe Montana's high school coach when young Zolak was the water boy.
What happened here, Bob, to set this up, George got hit and fumbled after Indianapolis got the kickoff in overtime. And this is setting up the field goal right now.
Here's Don Crickey.
Snap and set down, and the Patriots are in the win column. Look at this celebration.
Oh, they're booing here. Well, you know, Scott Zolak, you talk about something to remember. I guess hitting the ball 16 times helps, huh?
Yeah, rubbing that ball that Joe Montana gave him, and Charlie Bauman delivers the goods also. Every time he was called on today, he hit it, a pressure kick to tie the game, another to win it in overtime. And the Indianapolis Colts find themselves on the short end, and the mastery of the Patriots over Indianapolis continues. This is 4 straight years now that the Patriots have beaten the Colts here in Indiana. And it is the 14th time in the last 17 meetings that the Patriots have beaten the Colts. We'll be returning to the Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis in a
Jets. But after a pass interference penalty against Eric McMillan gave the Bengals a 1st and goal at the 5, Derek Fenner took it in here, put the Bengals on the board early in the 4th, 17-7. 2 plays after Darrell Williams picked Browning-Nagel off, Fenner will take it in from 16 yards for his 2nd touchdown. That cut the lead to 17-14, but the Bengals couldn't score after that. The Jets are able to hold on, and they win 17-14. Now, some late scores. These are games that have just gotten underway. The Raiders have a pair of field goals from Jeff Jager, 47 and 43 yards, a 6-0 lead on the 1-8 Seahawks at the Coliseum in L.A. New Orleans on Morton Anderson's 29-yarder, a 3-0 lead at Candlestick over the 49ers. Both these teams 7-2. The Rams are 3-6. Dallas is 8-1. The Cowboys have won 5 in a row. And the Cowboys have won 11 straight at home, while the Rams have lost 12 in a row on the road. And the Rams have the early lead on the Cleveland Gary 1-yard touchdown, 7-3. They go to the second quarter in that one. Tampa Bay leading the Bears. The Bears made 4 moves with their starting lineup, taking Neil Anderson out, replacing him in the backfield. And they also replaced 3 defensive starters today. So far, it hasn't worked for Mike Ditka. The Bucs are leading in the second quarter at home, 10-0. Let's talk a bit, Juice, about the important victory for the
afternoon, footballs flew at an alarming rate. The Jets' Ken O'Brien completed 29 passes, while Dan Marino of the Dolphins connected with 30. Miami's number 13 gained 448 yards through the air, but New York's number 7 topped him with 479. 4 of O'Brien's passes went for touchdowns, and Marino countered with 6 scoring tosses. All in all, the Jets and Dolphins combined for 884 yards and 10 touchdowns, the most prolific passing performance in NFL history. But stats alone were not what made this wild game so memorable. It was the way it ended. With only 5 seconds remaining, Miami clung to a precarious 45-38 lead.
Jets 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line of the Dolphins. 5 seconds left in the game. O'Brien being rushed. O'Brien throwing over the middle. Wesley Walker, touchdown! Touchdown! There is no time remaining. Wesley Walker, touchdown Jets. They are going berserk. The Jets have time to score with no time left on the clock.
When I made the catch, I was in a dream world. I didn't realize what had happened, and I still don't.
So he's all happy. And then the next thing I remember just wanting to win the coin toss and get the ball back in our hands. And as soon as we won the coin toss, I knew we were going to score. We just, everything was going our way at that point.